Hello and welcome back to the cottage. In this tutorial, we are going to put a cap on this thing because that is the one thing that this thing is really missing at this point. Is a roof. And Chief Architect has basically every possible customization you can possibly imagine for building roofs. So what I'm going to do is kind of go through a couple of the basic techniques and then kind of leave the rest to you to explore other options here. The first thing we need to do is get into kind of like a roof building mode on this. And over here in the project browser, so you have docked on the right a few different little useful menus and things. On this one, we're going to look at the project browser and we want to change the view. So the plan views that we have opening are worth looking through to see what there is. You can get HVAC, kitchen, framing, so you can actually see a lot of the different views that Chief Architect kind of predefines for you. And the one we're going to look at is the roof plan view. And let's open it up. And you'll notice it now says open. You can actually define new ones as well. Basically, what it does is it goes through when you change which view you have open. Here, I'm going to pull this out, and then if I move it over here, I can actually look at both side by side. The difference is different things are checked and unchecked in the active layer display options. If you don't have that window here, it's up here in the view tab, active layer display options. It's over here on the right. So if you have this one active, see a lot less stuff is checked. So it's a little bit cleaner, and it allows us to see our roof as we build it. So I'm going to close the working plan, and then we're going to just work from this. And continually, I'm going to grab a full camera view, and I'm going to have that just kind of open, and then ready to see what the roof is going to look like at each stage of this operation. So let's go ahead and start this. The first thing we really want to do is edit some default settings. So we'll go into our default settings, and we're going to go to the roof and hit edit. I think as a cottage, I think it's a little classier with a steeper roof, so we'll go with a 12-12 roof. So the pitch of the roof is 12 out of 12. So if you want an 8-12 roof, you would put 8. If you want a 6-12 roof, you put 6. In our case, you want 12-12. So we'll put 12 in here. For a nice steep roof, it'd be good for higher climates with snowfall, things like that. The other thing that we'll want is to have auto rebuild roofs checked. And if you look under structure, you can see all sorts of different settings, things like how rafters are going to be constructed. So all this stuff maybe can be left at default for now, and that's what we're going to do, but it is all stuff that you can customize when you are building roofs. So hit done. And you'll notice that we now have a roof. And it automatically built it over the porch. And it built a nice little cap. We don't have any windows up here yet in the second floor, but that's because this is maybe not exactly the kind of roof that we want. But first, let's play around with this roof as it is. So let's start here, and we're going to use the select tool to see if we can grab the wall, because you can actually see the roof definition, sort of. You can see the dotted lines right here, where there's a little valley here, and the sort of hip there comes up on the side here. So what we're going to do is we're going to select this wall. Wait, let's go to the second floor. That's where you can see the roof. There it is. So you can see those hips here. And what we're going to do is we're going to select this wall. If you're having trouble selecting it, just kind of click around here until you get just the wall selected. And we're going to open that wall. So I'm going to use the right click method. And we're going to look at the roof part of this, and instead of being a hip wall, this is going to be a full gable wall, so that we'll have a flat wall that goes up to a gable truss. And we'll hit OK and see what that does to the roof line. So that creates that more traditional triangular pitched roof. You can do the same thing on some of these other walls here. So I can go in and change this wall here, for example, into a gabled roof. I have to right click because my controls for my screen recorder are covering up that button. So I have to go up to roof and then turn this into a full gable wall. And you'll see the roof above the garage does that. And then we might do something else here. What would be nice, right now the roof above the porch looks a little bit goofy, so let's see if we can fix that. So in order to get this roof above the porch to be a more traditional gable roof, we want to do something kind of odd. We're going to draw in some new walls. So this might be different on your houses, what you're working on, but I'm just showing this as kind of an option. I'm going to draw in an exterior wall. Well, first I'm going to turn on my reference display so I can see the floors below. And I'm going to draw a straight exterior wall here. Oops. Just down one, down to here, and then across to here. And that's going to kind of create a new room above there. If we look at here, it now sticks out, but that still looks a little bit goofy. So what we'll do to fix that is, well, first we want to make sure that this is in fact aligned above the wall below. Right there, aligned with the wall below. And this one as well, aligned with the wall below. Where did that tool go? This is it. That's the one, right? Yep. So now that those are aligned, then we can just have this wall selected and then turn it into a gable wall. And that will make it look a little bit better. So we'll go in here, we will open it, roof, full gable wall, hit OK, and then see the result. And then we get this cool nested roofline thing. Another thing that you can do, which is kind of neat, is we could add in a gable wall over here. So let's see how we can do. So using my select tool, I'm going to turn off my reference display, first of all. Reference display. F9 is the keyboard shortcut to do that, by the way. And I want to break this wall, because I don't actually want this gable wall to go the full length of the garage. I just want it to be like 28 feet long. So we'll get out our break tool, or rather we'll select this wall, then hit the right click to break it, or hit the 3 button. And then I've broken the wall here in the middle. Now let's select the new wall that we've just created, and we're going to redefine that one as 28 feet. So it's going to take up. I think I did something wrong. Did I hit the right? Did I hit 28 feet? Why does it keep doing the whole thing? Pause for a second. I'm not entirely certain why, but every time I try to change the length of this, it keeps redefining it. So I'm just going to kind of cut it in here because we're not going to keep these changes anyway. So you may have some trouble with this, but see if you can get it. When I did my run through, it worked just fine, so I'm not really sure what the deal is here. But so let's open up. So I'm just going to cut it, and then it's close enough. It's 28'1". What I'm trying to do is get it to match the opposite wall. So we'll open it up. We'll go to the roof structure. We'll make it a full gable, and then take a peek at what it might look like if it matches the. So see how it kind of matches up with the other side. Obviously, it's not perfect because it's about an inch off, but it looks like the chief architect kind of made it fit. So this is kind of like the basic rundown of a basic roof with just trusses. But let's say we wanted to do something a little bit different. Since this is, actually, let's do one more thing. Let's add a little roof over this this here deck. So we'll just go down one floor, blink, select the deck itself, and we'll open it up. And then under structure, we'll say roof over this room, and then it has a flat ceiling. And so we'll hit OK. That will create the initial roof, but it's got the goofy hip thing, which we don't want for our purposes. So we'll select these railings here and make them into full gable walls. Roof, full gable, check. Roof, oops. Open object, roof, full gable, good. And then last but not least, let's select the horizontal wall. We'll open that up. And then under the structure of the roof, we want to change that to like a 6/12 pitch so it looks a little bit better. And then we'll see what that looks like. That's more what we're looking for a roof over a porch. So it has a ceiling. It's a forged in. It's got a roof over the porch, and I think that looks pretty good. Actually, I think we maybe want to even go shallower on that. So let's open that one more time. We'll go to the roof, and we'll say it as like a 212. Just a really shallow. We still want it slanted, but you don't really want it. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, so now since we're trying to build this cottage, what I'd like to do is actually drop the roof down so that the upper floor is actually inside the roof, sort of like an attic. And then we'll have dormers and things like that. So let's go into how we might do that. So we're going to completely ignore the roof that we just built and kind of reconstruct it as a more cottage style roof with dormers and things like that. So we'll go to the build menu and we'll go to roof and we'll click on build roof. The first thing that we want to do is hold on. We want the bottom of our roof height to be about 18 and some change inches above the ceiling of the first floor, so that it kind of like drop it down, and that way the second floor is going to be inside of the roof. So we'll change the roof height to be 18 and 1/8 inch, and then we're going to ignore the second floor, the top floor. So we'll plop the roof down on or in so that it is the second floor. And when we hit OK, our whole house is going to change. In fact, we're going to lose all of our gables, but now the second floor is inside of that roof, which is kind of cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and I'm going to reestablish my gable end here, and then I'll walk you through this part. But I'm going to do some of this off camera. Or actually, I'm going to do all three. This one, this one, this one, and this one. I'm going to do all the gables, and then I'll show you what happens, because it's going to create kind of some confusion, and I'll walk you through fixing that, but I'll do this off camera. So basically what I did was I took this wall and made it a full gable wall. I took this wall, broke it here, and then made it a full gable wall. So it's 28 feet, 28 feet. So this line is the same all the way through. Then I took the wall on the front of the porch, made that into a gable, and made the wall above the garage into a gable wall. And here's what happens. For the most part, it looks great. You get your gable effect, and you get the cool nested thing, but we do have this weirdness right here where the wall inside the attic is open to the outside world. So let's fix that real quick. And the kind of easy way to do that is to go up into the second floor and take this wall and extend it into here. And then you sort of redefine this as attic space. So take this little new room that got created and make it into an attic. And then hit OK. And then we'll take a look at what happens. That is gone. We do have some weirdness here, and I'm not sure why we're getting a graphics glitch there, but it does kind of, for the most part, fix the problem. Actually, the best way to fix the problem here is now to select this wall and break it right here. I think that gets rid of the graphics glitch. Yeah. And now it looks good. So now we have the nested roofs. It looks good. You've got your gable walls, and it has that more of a cottage style where the thing is in there. So the next thing we want to do is build a dormer. Now you could add more features to the roof, like curving this thing, and if you look in the tutorial guide, there is a walkthrough for how you can make this a little bit steeper and then into a more gentle curve here, but I'm going to ignore it. I'm going to leave it. We're going to accept this as it is because I actually rather like this the way it is. So the next thing we want to do is build that dormer. And that'll be the last thing we'll do for this video. First, as always, we're going to go in and edit some defaults. So go under the default settings, and we'll look under dormers, edit. And up here, the first thing we want to do is we want to include a freeze. And then under walls, we want our height to be 60. Let's make it a little bit wider. Let's make it 96 inches wide. And hit OK. Now, one other thing that we'd like to do, since this dormer window is going to look a little bit goofy if it's this wide, is we're going to actually, since we've already placed all the windows that we're going to do now, let's actually just go in and edit our default window to make it a little bit different too. So we're going to redefine our default window as 72 inches wide by 48 inches tall, and then floor to top will be 93.5 inches. and we'll change the number of lights in there. So where is it? Lights. We only want 3 vertical. Whoops. I think I just undid all of my edits. Yep. So pause. Yeah, so I just changed the number of lights. So it's 3 and 3. Looks a little bit nicer. Hit OK. And then we'll hit done. And now we're going to create an auto floating dormer, which is the easiest way to create a dormer. And it looks really pretty cool. So we'll go back up to the cottage roof plan, or the roof plan view. We're going to go to build, and under roofs, we're going to select an auto floating dormer. And then just blam, click to build it in there. We'll use the select tool to move it. Let's get ourselves let's get our CAD tools. How far do we want it from the edge here? We want it 2 feet. So right now it's in there, but it's going to be positioned kind of weirdly. It's a little bit high up. So we'll go up in here. We'll go to our CAD tools. We'll grab a dimension from here to here, and we'll grab the dormer itself and redefine this as 2 feet. So that brings it a little bit further forward, and then we can actually center it in the roof there. So that moves it that way, and then we can delete this dimension that we don't need anymore. So let's see what it looks like. And there it's positioned a little bit more logically. We can take a look from the inside by grabbing a camera. We'll put a full camera, we'll put it in the inside and see what that looks like. And we have this charming little dormer here. You might want to reposition it a little bit to figure out exactly where you want, maybe even change the window style, see if it's what you're really looking for. But for the most part, this is exactly what you want to do. In fact, I do want to change that to like a casement window, just because I like them. So we'll make this a double casement window, not double hung, double casement. Yeah, that's better. And we'll leave it like that. So there it is from the outside. There it is from the inside. And that's how you put in a dormer. If I was going to do this further, I'd probably add further dormers here and maybe put a bigger one over here. But I'm going to leave that to you to experiment with different ways to make dormers. I encourage you to check out the tutorial guide chapter on the dormers because it does have some more complex methods for making dormers to get exactly kind of the look that you're going for. But for now, we're going to leave it like this for the window, and this is as complicated as I need as far as the class is concerned. So thanks very much. Let's see you in the next video.